Welcome to a new episode of ArtChitecture Time. My name is Brenda Luciotis Clark and I'm founder of BLOC, the local art portfolio where we represent 40 Latin American artists, which 30 are from Peru. Today's episode, I got the honor and pleasure to announce as our special guest, the genius Peruvian architect Enrique Leguia. So will you join me? A one-of-a-kind person, full of bright energy and a genius. Enrique Leguia, he's one of our top Peruvian architects and a true friend. The Apu is this mountain located in Pachacamac, very close to the city of Lima in Peru, and I had the honor and pleasure to experience and visit it. This energetic and very creative place makes you connect with nature in a very unique way. Leguia has developed different projects not only locally but also in other countries such as the United States. So far, of the projects that he has developed, it includes a very artistic DNA, which is a feature in his personality. Let's hear more about this specific project, the Apu, from its creator. Shall we?
Hi there, BLOC art friends. My name is Enrique. I'm an architect from Lima, Peru, and I'm going to talk to you about my project, Apu. Apu. That's how I call it. In ancient Quechua, the language of the pre-Columbian people of the Andes, Apu means Lord, Spirit, Deity, spiritual being. It applies to any special feature in nature, in the landscape. It could be a large tree, a roaring river, a peculiar rock, and amongst other things, the most notorious and revered are a mountain deity, given its size, shape, its location, or simply feeling its energy. The Apus are therefore regarded as living beings, protectors, and I'm convinced that this particular one chose me. This is how I found it, naked, dusty, empty. At the time, being myself an architect, I was looking for a special place to settle, a place where I could build my dream. When I reached its summit for the first time, I was taken. It was like I had found my dream location. I felt enlightened, bewitched by its fantastic views, its presence in the mouth of the valley of Lurin, where it sits proudly above the rest. It felt like being out of this world and just so close to the city. To experience it is to imagine you are passing through a portal to another dimension, far from the mortal, known world. It was indeed an unusual task at hand. Who in its right mind cares for a mountaintop in the middle of a depressed neighborhood? Land mafia dealers could have invaded it in hours, but such was my determination that it took me 4 years through governmental red tape and meetings with the local community to obtain the property and start the project. It would take another 11 years to build what you see today and plant around 4,000 trees in its surroundings. Still, there is a lot more to be done, but you can see the difference now. What was barren, dusty, dry land now bursts with life covered with greenery. It has become a refuge for birds, reptiles, insects, and so-called weeds that at the end of the day, they are nothing else than discriminated plants that support specialized endangered fauna. The philosophy of the project comprises creating a small community, a citadel, on top of the mountain, surrounded by a green belt of around 10 hectares of mountain slopes, half of which sits in public land, now zoned as reforestation and landscape conservation area thanks to this project. This will become an outdoor sculpture museum park and an extension of the natural refuge for animals and plants pushed away by the ominous and inevitable growth of the metropolis. Given the fact that most of the 400 families that inhabit the place have no property titles, the project also influenced the few dwellers that still had rather big plots of land and animals not to give up their livestock, their way of living, and give away their land to third parties, arguing that the state would give property titles only for those with urban uses and not agricultural or farming plots. What a paradox when sustainability is paramount nowadays. In general, the project aim is to create an autonomous, self-sufficient community, a citadel with its own water and energy sources, full in-house recycling and waste management, with a mission to promote nature, clean energy, to be completely independent from the grid, a community which main values are great respect for the earth, for nature, an example of how a new form of organizational cell can improve living conditions and reformulate land use in the world. An experiment to create a society constructed on a common goal, back to simplicity and common sense. The architecture of the citadel is mostly built with rocks and material from the same mountain, having a minimal carbon footprint in its construction. The building process comprises the removal of about 2 meters deep of the surface layers of sediment and fractured rock of the mountain. Once removed, the hard solid granite below is exposed. These extracted sediments and rocks are used to build walls and terraces. The architecture thus adapts its shape, following the geometry of the exposed core of igneous rock, which constitutes the foundations of walls. They determine the shape and size of the buildings, so their architecture adapts to a geological formation. Therefore, architecture plans become just guidelines, sort of a general master plan of buildings and spaces. This flexibility results in a process that can easily be called a sort of sculpture architecture, given it is finally modeled by the resulting landscape. At the end, the volumes and materials resulted from this process blend with the mountain itself, giving the sense of being part of it, almost to the point of a natural occurrence, or you may say reminiscence of ancient ruins.
It feels there's no time when you're there. Every single time that I visit this place, it's how you can become one with nature. And the process of it explained by Enrique is just harmony, and I know that it took a lot of effort, work, and investment too. But I think that the project in a macrospective point of view as a community and how you benefit in your local community, it's a way how you can change people's life. This is a way how we can connect and how we can say that art is an amazing and very powerful medium. Because of art and inspiration that he took from this mountain is how he developed the entire project. We are all instruments, and let's not forget about that. Thanks for joining me today. Thanks, Enrique, for sharing all of this during this time also. And if you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, ring the bell so you don't forget any of our episodes. And also you can spread it out. Till next time.